get started. Got some doubts from the respond back. So what was the question? Can you ask again? So are there any doubts from the assignment that was given in polynomials? Listen, tell me what is the problem. 34. Say two zeros of the polynomial p of x say two polynomials, two zeros of the polynomial p of x is equal to, what is it? X power 4 minus 6x cube minus 26x square plus 138x minus 35 are 2 plus or minus root 3. Then find other zeros. So how to solve this? Multiply them. So you need to first find the factors. So x is equal to 2 plus root 3 is one factor. X is equal to 2 minus root 3 is another factor. So x minus of, is there a power cut? Oh. X minus 2 plus root 3 into x minus of 2 minus root 3 will be the product of those two factors. So what will you get there? What is happening? It's fine. Yeah. So what will you get there? So I can write it as x minus of root 3 plus 2 into x minus of, sorry, x plus of root 3 minus 2. Can you write it like this? Did you understand what it is? So I took the minus sign out of this and I made it like this so that it becomes x minus a into x plus a format. So what will you have? You will have x square. You will have x square minus, oh, there is root 3 minus 2. Then it will not work. So can you multiply both and tell me? Can you multiply these two and tell me what you are getting? Is that what everyone is getting? Okay. See, let's think of logic. Okay. What we can do, can we write this as x minus 2 minus root 3? Right? And we can write it as x minus 2 plus root 3. Then x minus 2 is a minus. So this is a, this is b, this is a, this is b. A plus b into a minus b. A square minus b square. So x minus 2 the whole square minus 3. So what will you get? X square minus 4x plus 4 minus 3. So x square minus 4x plus 1. Correct? So this is what you got. Right? Or else what is the other way of directly writing it? When you move to roots, how to write a second degree equation? X square minus sum of the roots. What is sum of the roots? That is what? 2 plus root 3 plus 2 minus root 3. So 4. So x square minus sum of the roots plus product of the roots. How much is it? So multiple ways to write the same thing. Did you understand what I did? So if two zeros of a polynomial are, did you understand the question? How many of you didn't understand the question? Can be honest, okay? You didn't understand, please let me know. There is a fourth degree polynomial for which how many roots are given? 2 roots are given. We are expected to find the other 2 roots. So when will you get a fourth degree equation? See, I'll give you a simple logic. If I have a linear equation, x plus 1, I multiply this linear equation with another linear equation. What will I get? I'll get a quadratic equation or a polynomial for it. So linear polynomial into linear polynomial will give me a quadratic polynomial. So a quadratic polynomial multiplied with a linear polynomial will give me a cubic polynomial. Similarly, a quadratic polynomial multiplied with another quadratic polynomial will give me a fourth degree, that is, biquadratic polynomial, right? If that is the case, right? So in the fourth degree equation that you have, the fourth degree polynomial that you have, you are given 2 roots. So those 2 roots combined together, will it not give you a quadratic polynomial? So when you divide this fourth degree polynomial with a quadratic polynomial, what is that you will be left out with? You will be left out with another quadratic polynomial, right? So what I'm trying to say is x power 4, can you tell me what are the values? X power 4 minus 6x cube minus 26x square plus 138x minus 35. Is that right? This can be written as product of x square minus 4x plus 1 into ax square plus bx plus c. So I'm just trying to explain you a different method. That's it. So when 2 zeros of a polynomial are given, this is the actual meaning of it. Means there is some quadratic equation, polynomial, which is multiplied with the quadratic polynomial that is formed by the zeros of the, by the given zeros. That is x square minus 4x plus 1. So the product of these 2 polynomials should be equal to that fourth degree polynomial. Then how do you find that ax square plus bx plus c? It is nothing but x power 4 minus 6x cube minus 26x square plus 138x minus 35 into x square minus 4x plus 1. We have to divide it. When you divide it, what do you think will be the remainder? Remainder should be a 0 for sure. It will be a 0. When you get that 0, you will get a quadratic polynomial here. So that this polynomial multiplied with this polynomial gives you the fourth degree polynomial, right? So once you find the polynomial, the second degree polynomial, then what you will do is factorize it. That will give you the remaining 2 zeros. Is the concept clear? So I think these kind of problems are there in textbook also. But don't say it is deleted, is it? Is it deleted? No, no. Okay. So I've stopped looking at your CBSE syllabus. Half of the questions they are deleted. So I don't want to know it also. I hope other problems are easy, right? So I heard that you guys solved it faster also. Is it true? You guys solved it faster. You could solve it fast. Paper was easy, is what I know. You want me to make it tougher? Tests are easy, no? We'll make it tougher. Since it is first time, I thought, okay, we'll make it easy. Check into it. Next class, I'll take it. Or they are correct. It's there in the study materials now. I'll ask them to upload it. There is a person, I'll ask them to upload it. You want it for assignments also? Yeah, yeah, do it. They'll have detailed solutions. MCQ, sir. But you will not write no. That laziness will come in. That is why I'm worried. MCQs are the most dangerous things. You can improve your brain, but you'll make you lazy. That is the problem. It is good, but you know, see, I'm on a mission of achieving two things. I want to make you stronger first. Definitely, I want your brain to get sharper. To ensure your board exams are also smooth. So I don't want you to struggle in the last time. That is why we are giving some. This time I've added assertion reason also. Next set of assignment you're doing. Because we don't know what pattern they are giving for boards. Why do you want to struggle in that? This whole walking like how you walk into a restaurant. Yeah. Be prepared for the best. Yeah, you have done it for this time. So this time I made 75%. MCQs I made it 30, but descriptive there are different patterns that are built. Yeah, you got it, no? Okay, we'll start. I not yet started discussing. I'll teach you today. So I'm assuming that's all with the polynomials, right? Other problems are easy and you could solve it. Did you all upload the assignment back in the app? Okay, I'll create it by the end of this class. For polynomials, it's not there. Okay, I'll do it. Is there anything else that is missing? That's it, no? So shall we move to the next chapter then? So what is the next one? Pair of linear equations in two variables, right? So pair of linear equations in two variables. Generally, what does a pair mean? Okay, but they are saying pair of linear equations in, so not of, it is in two variables. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Pair of linear equations in two variables. What kind of equations do you have? So you have 2x plus 3y. Okay. Then what is this? It is actually not an equation at all because there is no equal to symbol, right? So if 2x plus 3y is just an expression, right? You can call it as a polynomial also. You can say polynomial in two variables, right? Which is equal to, if I write it as 5, then it becomes a linear equation in two variables, right? Similarly, I have 3x plus 4y is equal to 7. This also I can call it as a linear equation in two variables. Okay. Now the question is, what if I give you only one linear equation in two variables and ask you to find the solution for it? Will you be able to find a solution? What do you mean by solution in the first place? Values of x and y. Generally, if you take those values, right, what does it represent? What does the value of x comma y in this expression actually mean in terms of a diagram? It is a point on the graph. Whenever you say a point, you write the coordinates of that point, right? You write the coordinates of the point, let's say a comma b, where this a is called as the abscissa and the b is called as ordinate. You know all these things from last year, right? Similarly, can I say this coordinate also has another name called as ordered pair. Can I say it as an ordered pair? Have you heard of this term? No? So it's called, you have heard coordinates. No? It is also called as ordered pair. Why do you call it as ordered pair? It is a pair where the numbers are written in order. Yes. Because if I put a question 2, 3 and 3, 2, though the numbers are the same, do they represent the same meaning? No. Why? Because the first term is always assigned to x coordinate, second is always assigned to y coordinate by default, unless and until it is mentioned here. Right? So this is what happens. So the order is very important. That is why the coordinates are also called as ordered pairs. Right? So the coordinates which satisfy the linear equation in two variables are called as solutions. So you have heard of this word solution, right? Solution means what? That particular point which satisfies the equation. What do I mean by satisfy? Means when you substitute that value in the place of x and y, you will get the equation. Like for example, you want to substitute in this, right? What value of x and y can I substitute? I can substitute x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. So 1, 1 is a point which satisfies the equation. How did I say this? In the place of x, I'm putting 1, and in the place of y, I'm putting 1, so that I'm able to get a 5. Right? So those values, the values of ordered pairs or the coordinates or the value of abscissant ordinate, which is actually satisfying the equation, are called as solutions. Okay. Generally, when you take a linear equation in two variables, how many solutions will it have? Listen to my question carefully and answer. A linear equation in two variables will have how many solutions? Listen to my question is what I do. A linear equation in two variables will have infinite solutions, because when you take a linear equation in two variables, graphically, what does it represent? It is a straight line on a graph. Graphically, it represents a straight line. Right? So that straight line can have infinite number of points present in it. So that is called as general solution. What do I call it as? General solution. Because anything can be a solution of it, which might be able to satisfy it. Right? But if I want a particular solution, what do I mean by particular solution? If I want the exact solution of it, then for linear equation in two variables, what are the minimum number of equations that I need? Are you able to understand what do I mean by particular solution? I need only one solution, right? So for that one solution, I have linear equation in two variables. So what are the minimum number of linear equations in two variables I need to find that particular solution? It is 2. How did I find the 2? It is because the number of variables in the equation is equal to the number of equations you need to solve it. For example, if I take 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, it is a linear equation in one variable. So one variable itself will give me an answer of minus half. I got a solution. It is a particular solution. Am I right? Is it not a particular solution? Because minus half is the only value that will satisfy this equation. Right? Similarly, if I have 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, and I took something, x plus 4y is equal to, let's say, 7, for example. Then when I solve these two equations simultaneously, then what will be, I'll be able to get either one value of x and y or infinite value, depending on whether they are intersecting or they are parallel to each other or they are coincident. Okay, that's a different story. As of now, we'll assume that they both are intersecting. So if they are intersecting, I'll get one solution. So I'll be able to get this one particular solution only if I have two equations for linear equation in two variables. Similarly, if I want to extend the concept to what is this called as? It is a linear equation in three variables. So if I ask you particular solution for these two equations, will you be able to give me? You will not be able to, because the number of variables is not equal to the number of equations you have in your mind. So for any problem in this world, especially with linear equations, right? For any linear equation, if the number of variables are n, then you need n separate equations to get that particular solution. Or else what will you get? You will only get a general solution. You can never find a particular value. You can never do. You want, you can try and see. You can never do it. Is that clear? So that is why this chapter is learned. Okay. And again, as I always keep telling you, whatever you are going to learn in math is not restricted only for math. It is also going to be applicable for science as well. So you'll be using it in science to solve different kinds of equations. Okay. So is it clear? Is the introduction clear to you? So what you would have basically learned in your 10th grade is you would have learned how to solve these two equations simultaneously using different methods. Where one of the methods is called as substitution method. One is called as elimination method. Then one is called as cross multiplication. I told you now. I'll teach you. It's called cross multiplication method. So yesterday when I was teaching for 12th, no, they couldn't relate to it because they didn't learn. They didn't know that. 12th standard, they don't know what we are. So when I was telling them, they were looking at me like this, as if I'm speaking some, as if I'm like a god. Nothing. I explained some basic thing they are not able to understand. Okay. So it's important that you know. At least when you come to 12th, wherever you study, you should not say that I didn't hear this. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. So these are all the different methods that you have. Right. After that, you have certain conditions where you will try to use some logic to understand whether the lines are intersecting or whether the lines are parallel to each other or they are going to be coincidental. Coincidental in the sense one overlapping on the top of another. Right. So, shall we get started? Right? Can you give me that book? Okay. Now, I just want you to understand what is the geometrical interpretation of linear equation in two variables. So, can someone tell me? 2x plus 3y is equal to 7. Okay. If this is the case, I want you to plot this on a graph sheet and tell me what shape are you going to get. A rough graph would be sufficient. X, x prime, y, y prime. Right? It will be a straight line, but how did you know that? So you need to first convert it to an equation. So always like see linear equation in two variables is going to give you a solution is what you do. So that solution in a graph, what does it represent? It represents a coordinate. So for me to find that coordinate, I need to understand where those two graphical shapes are intersecting. For that, first I need to know what is the graphical shape. Right? So 3y is equal to 7 minus 2x and y is equal to 7 minus 2x divided by 3. Is it right? When you do this, so y is equal to 7 minus 2x divided by 3. X, y. Okay. So generally, when you write something in this format, right, you have only one variable on the left hand side. That is y. So generally, whenever you want to draw a graph, you try to rearrange it in such a way that one variable will be equal to the expression in terms of another variable. For example, in this case, y is 7 minus 2x by 3. 7 minus 2x by 3, I can call it as an expression. Right? Then the single variable that is there on the left of equal to sign is generally called as dependent variable. And the one with which you frame the expression on the right hand side is called as the independent variable, and that is the reason why you try to ensure that x-axis is always independent and y-axis is always dependent. So when you draw this graph, right, when you draw this box, the independent variable is written at the top. Why we call it as independent is because x will not ask anyone. We'll keep substituting whatever we need. So when you take x is equal to 0, for example, y will be 7 by 3. When you take x is equal to 1, it becomes 5 by 3. When you take x is equal to 2, 1, it keeps going like this. So can I say 0, 7 by 3 is one of the points on that graph? 1 comma 5 by 3 is another point on the graph, and 2 comma 1 is another point on the graph. Now, if I take all these values, 0 comma 7 by 3 lies on the y-axis, 1 comma 5 by 3. So, where is 1 comma 5 by 3? Is it decreasing or increasing? 1 comma 5 by 3. It is somewhere over here. Then what do you have? You have 2 comma 1. You have it somewhere over here, which is 2 comma 1. When you try to join all these points, you get a shape which is basically a straight line. So from this, and I'm sure that last year you would have learned that linear equation in two variables is always a straight line. Okay? So this is why we are able to prove that it is a straight line. So when I asked you in the beginning, you told right infinite number of solutions. Those infinite numbers are possible because you can substitute infinite number of independent variables for which you will get infinite number of dependent variables. So infinite coordinates are possible. Are you able to understand? So please make a note of this. Shall we proceed? Yeah. Now let's see. So if I say what is the general equation of, or I'll say general form of linear equation in two variables. Can someone tell me? In two variables, you have ax plus c is equal to 0. Generally, whenever you try to write anything as an equation, right, after the equal to sign, you mostly try to have 0 as the value. So that's why you see quadratic equation also, you would have written ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. You would have never written like ax square plus bx is equal to c. That's not the general form. Okay, this is called as the general form where any value, where a, b, c are some real numbers. Right. So having said this, now when I give you two linear equations in two variables, you'll be able to solve them, right? When you solve them, you can either solve them graphically or analytically. So when you solve it graphically, what you are going to do, you'll draw both the lines on the graph sheet and you'll try to find where they both are intersecting. When you try to solve it analytically, what are you going to do? You're going to use the substitution method, or you're going to use elimination method, or you're going to use what is it called as cross multiplication method, right? So that's all you have. So if you see in an overall picture, right, why you're learning this chapter is only to understand how to solve two linear equations, how to solve linear equations in two variables, nothing else. That is what you're learning. It is only a tool. Okay. So shall we start them graphically? Actually, we can start with the problem itself. If you go to page number 51 in the MTG book, okay. Can you share it with me? Go to page number 51. Read the illustration number 1. What is the number there? So page number 51 in MTG. Read the question. X plus y. Okay. Okay. So x plus y is equal to 7. Right. First thing, what are we supposed to do? Whenever you want to draw a graphical format, you need to know the expression for the dependent variable in terms of independent variables. So first, what am I supposed to do for the first highway? I should write it as y is equal to 7 minus x. So 7 minus x means if I put a box like this, x and y. So if I put x is equal to 0, y is 7, x is equal to 1, y is 6, x is equal to 2, y is 5. So remember, if you want to draw a straight line, the minimum number of points that are required are only 2. If you know the 2 points, you can join them, that will become a straight line. For the sake of exam purpose, we'll take more number of points. Okay. So 0, 7, 1, 6, and 2, 5. 1 minute. Yeah. So when you try to plot the graph for this, how will it look like? X, Y. You have 0, 7, and you have 1, 6, you have 2, 5, something like this. So the graph keeps going like this. Okay. So what about the second case? 5x plus 2y is equal to 20. So this is the graph for x plus y is equal to 7. What is the next one? 5x plus 2y is 20. So what should I do? Y is equal to 20 minus 5x divided by 2. So what will I start with? I'll draw a box. Right? X and y. X, what will we start with? 0. So what will you get here? 10. If you put x is equal to 1, you get 15 by 2, that is 7.5. If you put 2 here, what will you get? You will get 5 here. So 3 points are there, 0, 10, 1, 7.5, and 2, 5. Right. So when I try to plot that value, I'll get 0, 10 here, 1, 7.5 somewhere over here, and 2, 5 is exactly on the other graph. So when I join them, where are they both intersecting? So now you're able to understand that 2, 5 is a point where those two highways are actually going to get connected. So this is the top view. Imagine you're seeing from the top, the satellite view, and you're going on a road. So this is highway number 1, and this is highway number 2. So what is happening when you see from the top, you're able to see that both the highways are meeting at a particular point. And where is that point? It is 2, 5. Okay. Yeah. So is it clear? You are asking something. What will you say? You write x is equal to, you will get the same thing. You want x will be different, but the graph will be same. X might be different. See, if you want, I'll do and show. Since you x values will be different, is what you're saying. X will be dependent, but generally will not take it like that. With respect to the graph that you take, right? Always y-axis is considered to be dependent, unless and until it is mentioned. But what you asked is right. Okay, next year we'll be learning a chapter called as functions. Did I tell you something about rational function in the last class? A polynomial divided by polynomial. I use the word functions, no? So when you learn about the function, you will have more clarity about this dependent and independent variable. As of now, stick to the fact, I'll not say stick to the fact, as of now, have this in mind that y is generally considered to be dependent and x is taken to be independent. Okay. So because if I go into depth, right, I need to explain about rotation of axis and all, which will unnecessarily confuse you. As of now, that's it. As of now, you only write y on the left hand side and an expression in terms of x on the other side. But what you asked is right now. X is called the dependent variable, and the other side y will become the independent variable. But I hope there is no doubt that the graph, right? If you swap x and y, do you think the graph will be different? It will be the same. If you want, you can try and see. Shall we move on to the next one? Yeah. So what is the next question they're asking? Okay. So what is the meaning of this? So first of all, if I have two linear equations, a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and if I have a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0, if I have the linear equations like this, okay, then when can I say that these two lines will intersect? What should be the relation between a1, a2, b1, b2 and c1, c2? a1 by a2. What about c1 by c2? What about c1 by c2? It doesn't matter. As long as a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, you can say that these lines will intersect. Okay. Next is, you have a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Then for them to be parallel, what should happen? But should not be equal to c1 by c2. Okay, then they are said to be parallel lines. So parallel lines have no solution. Is it clear? Similarly, I have a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Then I have a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is also equal to c1 by c2. Then what do you call these lines as? So you call them as coincidental or coincident lines. Means actually they are overlapping lines. To be more specific, they both are same lines. Okay. So can you give me an example from this case? From case A, if I ask you to frame equation, you tell me no. No. Frame an equation. Tell me two linear equations which will intersect. X plus y, 2y plus 3. Okay. Plus 3 equal to 0. Can I take it like this? Then if I take 4y, what will happen? 2x plus 3y plus. Okay, these two lines will definitely intersect. No doubt on that. Then what about this thing? 4y plus 5. Plus 5 is okay. 5 or 6, whatever you want. 5 is okay. Okay, next. I want a parallel lines. 4x, 8y plus they're coincident, no? So C1 by C2 should not be the same. So plus 9, any number other than a multiple of 5. Okay, this becomes a the set of parallel lines. What are coincident lines? Same 2x plus 4y plus 5 is equal to 0 and 4x plus 8y plus 10 is equal to 0. These two are pair of coincident lines. Okay. So the reason for this, maybe you'll understand it next year why they call it like that. Because I have to, there is a concept called as slope of a line. Have you heard of something like slope? No, no. That slope is something useful in science also. But as of now, we'll not get into those details. Because infinity is not a set of the ordered term. You cannot define it as a fixed number. When you say it is a solution, it should be a number which is not undefined. Instead of looking at it like infinity, what is that infinity according to you? Can you define it? So you tell me a number, you call that as infinity, I'll say +1. Then you can say a +1. Then again I'll say a +1. It is never ending process. That is the reason why we never take it as a fixed solution. So that's why we say they have no solution. That's it. Okay. Whereas when you talk about coincident lines, how many solutions do they have? They have infinite number of solutions. So the lines which intersect have one solution, lines which are parallel have no solution, and the lines which are coincident have infinite solution. So based on this, we can solve any kind of a problem that we have given. So let's try the example number 2. +7, 10x minus 2y plus 15 equal to 0. So what kind of equations are parallel? Okay, so they are parallel because 5 by 10 is equal to -1 by -2, but it is not equal to 7 by 15. So they are parallel, hence they have no solution. Means if a question is given to you and they ask you a solution, even before you start solving it, you need to do this check. Okay. Next. (3x plus y) minus 14. 2x plus you tell me. Exactly, they are intersecting lines. So since a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, we have nothing to do with c1 by c2. They are intersecting lines. And it has one solution. What about the next one? Find the value of p for which the pair of linear equation has exactly one solution. Sorry, I closed. So what are the equations? So you have two linear equations and you want to find the values of p. Page number 52, I think. So you need to exactly find the values of p for which these two lines are intersecting lines. So for them to be intersecting, what is the condition? 2p by 2 should never be equal to 3 by 1. So cancel it. P should never be equal to 3. But what did I say are the coefficients of x and y? They are some real numbers. So what you can say is you can put any real number in the place of x, place of p, except So generally, how you write this is how you write. Leave it. So real number in the place of p except p. I hope it is clear, no? Shall we go fast now? Yes. Next is substitution method, right? You will not find p. You need to find the values of p. Read the question carefully. What is the statement? Read the question. Find the. So the value of p can be any real number except 3. That is what I meant. Right? So next is substitution method. So why do you call it a substitution method? You substitute the expression for one variable in terms of an other. So how to solve this? Suppose I have 2x plus y is equal to 5 and 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. Then what I'll do is from 1, I will say y is equal to 5 minus 2x. I will take this variable and substitute it here. By doing it, what happens is 3x plus 2 into 5 minus 2x is equal to 7. So what has happened is linear equation in two variables has got converted to a linear equation in one variable, for which one expression is enough for me to solve it. So 3x plus 10 minus 4x is equal to 7. 10 minus x is equal to 7, which implies x is equal to 3. So when x is equal to 3, substitute it back in any one of the expressions, any one of the equations, sorry. Is there any mistake? Correct only, no? So random question. So if I put x is equal to 3 here, then what will I get in the place of y? Y minus 2 into 3, which will give me minus 1. So what is the solution? 3 comma minus 1. So this is the point at which these two lines will intersect. Which quadrant is it? Fourth. Right? In the fourth quadrant, these two lines are going to intersect. Right? So this is what we call it as substitution method. So I'm believing that you already know this. Then what is elimination method? You eliminate one variable by bringing the common coefficients for that variable which you want to eliminate. For example, give me a question. Let's take this itself. X plus y is equal to 7. 2x plus 3y is equal to 22. Or let's make it simple. Let's take it as 10 for. Now what I'll do is, I'll be observing these two equations. If at all you want to solve by elimination, then you need to first think of which variable you want to eliminate. Is there a rule that you need to eliminate only x or y first? It's up to your feet to choose. Okay. When I look at both the expressions, I'm able to understand that first I'll try to eliminate either of them. I'll choose y. I'll choose to eliminate y. So if I need to eliminate y, what do I need to do to the first expression? I need to get the common multiple of y in both the cases. So here I need to multiply with 3. So I get 3x plus 3y is equal to 21. When I subtract both, this will get cancelled. Minus x will be equal to minus 11, which implies x is equal to 11. When x is equal to 11, so x is equal to 7 minus 11, which is minus 1. Oh, y here, sorry. So what will be the point? 11 comma minus 1. Actually, we could have taken the previous problem itself and solved, so that we could have verified whether we are getting the same answer. Should we get the same or different? Obviously, you should get the same. Whether you do by graphical, substitution, elimination, cross multiplication, anything will give you the same answer. Okay. So please copy it first. For the sake of practice, write it down. right? Now, third one is solving linear equations in two variables using cross multiplication method. See, it's very simple, okay? So if at all I take the linear equations in the format a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and I take a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. If these two are the linear equations that are given to us, and let's say they are intersecting, when that is a scenario, then what you can do is you will start with the middle term. So what is the middle term? For first one it is b1, second one it is b2. That is the coefficient of y. So you will put b1 here, b2 here. So go in a cyclic pattern. So after b1, what are you able to see? c1, put a c2 here. After c1, c2, you will have a1, a2, and wherever you started, end with it. That is b1, b2. So in between this gap, right, put the variable x. In between the gap of c1 and a1, put the variable y. And in between a1 and b1, put the variable 1. Okay. Then what you will actually get is x divided by, any idea? No, zero idea. You will actually get b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1. Okay. So you should write x divided by, you're actually cross multiplying from left to right first minus right to left. That is why you call it as cross multiplication method. Should be equal to y divided by, do the same thing here. C1 A2 minus C2 A1 or A1 C2, whatever you call it, is equal to 1 divided by right. So from this, what you can do is you can equate this to this. Then I say x is equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Yes, ma'am. Please, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. There'll be a recording given to you. You will get it in the app, ma'am. Today you will get the access for it. Yes, ma'am. Copy. This one. It is not. It is time consuming only when you write in terms of A1, B2, A2, B1, and all. How did we get that done? Because I equated the first and the last. See, x by b1 c2, x by b1 c2 minus b2 c1 is equal to 1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. This term is equal to this term. A is equal to B is equal to C. Then can I say A is equal to C? Can I say B is equal to C? That's what I used. So this is A, this whole thing is B, this whole thing is C. So I equated A and C. I got x divided by B1 C2 minus B2 C1 is equal to 1 divided by A1 B2 minus A2 B1. Okay. So what I did to the B1 C2 minus B2 C1 is I took it to the other side. Now is it clear? Yes or no? So can you give me a question? We'll try to solve and see using this method. Shall I solve it? Or you are still copying it? I told you, Noda, x divided by cross multiplied B1 C2 minus B2 C1. This one. No, same thing. He asked me a doubt. I explained it again. How is it okay? So tell me. Plus 8. So how to solve this? Tell me. Don't memorize the formula. Method is same. 3, 5, 8, 14, 2, 4, 3, 5, x, y, 1. So x divided by, what are we supposed to do? 3 into 14, 42 minus 8 into 5. That is 40 is equal to y divided by 8 into 4, 32 minus 14 into 2, 28 is equal to 1 divided by 10 minus 12. So x divided by 2 is equal to y divided by 4 is equal to 1 divided by minus 2. So x is equal to minus 2, 2 divided by minus 2, which is minus 1. Y is equal to 4 divided by minus 2, minus 2. Now you tell me, is it plenty? Is it not easy? Which one? Plus 14 only. That's what they told me. Plus 8 and plus 14 only, no? Hey, that's what. Is it fine? Clear? Don't you think maybe you need to practice more to understand this? What is the doubt? Got it? Understood. So I'll give you a question. I want you to solve it using cross multiplication method. X plus y is 9. 5x plus 2y is equal to 14. Solve it using the cross multiplication. So you are able to approach. So I could see one mistake in some few papers. 1, 2, 9, 14, 1, 5, 1, 2. What is the mistake in this? Correct it. It is -9, -14. Why? Because the cross multiplication is applicable only when the equation is in the standard form. So first you need to make the right hand side 0. Means that 9 should be brought to the left hand side. I saw in your paper, and I think you also did this. You brought it up. You made a mistake or you did it right? Made a mistake. So this is a common mistake. It happens. Correct it. Okay. So x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0. 5x plus 2y minus 14 is equal to 0. So it should be -9 and -14. I think the numbers are slightly big because I gave you random numbers. Is it difficult to multiply? So x divided by -14 plus 18 is equal to y divided by -45 plus 14 is equal to 1 divided by 2 minus of -8. You have to subtract now. So what is the answer? X divided by 4 is equal to y divided by -31 is equal to 1 divided by -3. So x will be equal to -4 by 3, y will be equal to 31 by 3. This is the answer you got. You missed the sign, no? How many of you got this right? You got it, huh? So -4 by 3 and 31 by 3. So it is always better when you do by these methods that you try to substitute the value and check it. You got it, huh? Good. So I hope it is not as as it is projected. It's easy only, no? So only thing you need to be careful is right hand side should be 0. That's it. Okay. So this is also not something that has come from some other planet. You can actually get that formula not by using this cross multiplication or something. You can actually use your elimination method to get the answer. See, for example, I'll tell you, you need not copy this, listen to this. Okay. So a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0 is there, no? So what I'll do is, see, you know how to solve using elimination method. But for the elimination method, generally you will have numbers to be solved, numbers for solving the equation. Whereas here you have variables. So if at all I want to eliminate y variable, then what I will do is I'll multiply the first equation with b2 and the second equation with b1. Can I do that? So if I do that, I'll get a1 b2 plus b1 b2 into y plus b2 c1 is equal to 0. X is there. Then a2 b1x plus b1 b2y plus b1 c2 is equal to 0. Accepted. Now what do I need to do? I want to eliminate y. So minus, minus and minus, cancel it. Then I'll get a1 b2 minus a2 b1 into x plus b2 c1 minus b1 c2 is equal to 0. So a1 b2 minus a2 b1 into x is equal to, if it goes to the other side, it becomes b1 c2 minus b2 c1. If you guys understand what I mentioned, a minus b is equal to 0 when it, so generally x plus a minus b is equal to 0, then x will be equal to b minus a. So b will go other side as plus and a will go to the other side as minus. That's what I did. So I swap b1 c2 minus b2 c1. X is equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Is this not the value that I put within that bubble? Check your notes. This one. So you can cross verify. Is it right? b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Okay, generally, whenever you have a, see how the cross multiplication method actually came into existence is, you look at the variables, the way they are multiplied. 1 is multiplied with 2 and 2 is multiplied with 1. So if I have to have a structured format, I will have a1, a2, b1, b2. If I cross multiply them and subtract, will I not get A1 B2 minus A2 B1? So that is how they framed it. Okay, that is why this method was invented. Is it clear? So you'll be learning about why you're learning, why actually this method will be useful in your 12th standard. At that point, it will make even more sense why this method is existing. Is it clear, guys? So similarly, if you want to eliminate x, right, then you need to multiply with A2 and A1 and then proceed, you will get the same thing. If you want, you can try later and see. So this is the last point. And one last point that is left out is equation reducible to a pair of linear equations in two variables. Go to page number 55. Equation reducible to pair of so give me an example. 2 by x plus 3 by y is equal to 13. Huh? Okay. Minus 2. Is it right? Okay. So if I want to convert this into a linear form, if I take LCM and solve, what will I get? I'll get 2y plus 3x is equal to 13xy. Here I'll get 5y minus 4x is equal to minus 2xy, which is unnecessary thing. You're complicating it. So what you can do is instead, you can take 1 by x to be a and 1 by y to be b. When you do that, you get 2 into 1 by x, which is 2a, and 3 into 1 by x. Sorry, 3 into 1 by y, which is nothing but 3b. So you get 2a plus 3b is equal to 13. And similarly, for the second one, you get 5a minus 4b is equal to minus 2. Now, are they not linear equation in two variables? Now you can solve in whichever method you are comfortable with. Can you tell me where will this be helpful in the case of physics? One by v plus 1 by u is 1 by f. Right? So 1 by v you can take it as a. 1 by u you can take it as b. So a plus b will be equal to some 1 by f, which is a constant. Generally, focal length of the mirror is constant. What do you change generally? You change only the image distance with respect to which object distance will keep changing. If at all you have two mirror equations and you want to solve them, it doesn't signify anything. That's a different story. But if you want to use the tool of mathematics to solve it, then it is something similar. You can relate both the concepts and understand. You're able to understand? Similarly, you would have seen this, no? What is this? Lens form. Okay. So there you can convert 1 by v as a and 1 by u as b and then proceed. Okay. As I told you, you have learned it only as a tool to solve problems. Is it clear? So I think the remaining parts are easy. This is all about this chapter. I hope you started working on the assignment, right, which was given to you. I think it is easy only. Easy, no? Now what you can do is one method that so this is already part of your syllabus. Oh, right? Now you know it. No? See, these kind of questions generally are asked. Equation reducible to a pair of linear equations. Generally, something they keep testing it. They ask you have to use it. Sometimes what happens is happening. Like difficult questions are also asked. There are two options. Two options. We don't know whether who is seeing your paper. Are you sending it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. My question is only one thing. You want to fight with them or better answer? Better answer. How much time will it take? 5 years started the concept. Time is 5 and 7 minutes. That's it. 7 minutes you learned it. Why do you want to break your head whether it is deleted or not? Right? So problems alone, yes, we need to solve. I will be explaining more of the statement-based problems maybe in the next session with work on. statement based are also deleted. They are not deleted. Sometimes they do it. Quadratic equations they didn't delete no statement based problems. Not deletion. Let's not worry about it. Word problems. So you framing the equation and then solving it. That is also very easy. If I tell you, you will ask me why did they even delete? It is that simple. So cross multiplication, was there a necessity to delete? You learned it. I was checking the time for you guys. I was seeing exactly explained in 5 minutes. 7th minute, you people solve the problem. Done. Job is done. Right? That's a very easy. I don't. So sometimes you will get questions of this sort also. So practice it. There is no cross multiplication. Based on that, we'll explain a new concept called determinants. It's not. You'll be blinking. You not understand what I'm trying to do. So generally, when they ask you to reduce it to a linear form, right, the variables will be in the denominator. So observe the pattern. 2 by x is there. X is the variable actually, but it is the denominator. So similarly, you have 4 by y is the denominator. So you write it as 2 into 1 by x. That 1 by x you are assigning it to some other variable a. So what you're supposed to do in the problem is, once you find this a and b, right, you should not leave the answer as a and b. Again, you write a is equal to what? 1 by x, and you write x is equal to 1 by a and then leave the answer. So because what is the variable given in the question? It is not a. You want me to do and show? You can do any. You can solve in any method that they. Let's see. Let's say a is coming out as 1 and b is coming out as 5. I do 9. Let's say this is the answer. You should not write the answer for 2 by x plus 3 by y is equal to 13 as 1 comma 5. No. It is 1 by 1 comma 1 by 5. That is because the values you found are a and b. But what are the values they are expecting? X and y. Not even 1 by x. They will need the value of x and y. So we know that a is equal to 1 by x, which implies 1 is equal to 1 by x. X is how much? 1. Similarly, b is how much? 5. 5 is how much? 1 by y. Then what is y? 1 by 5. So what is the answer actually? 1 comma 1. 1 by 1 is 1 only. 1 comma 1 by 5 is the answer. So if you write it as 1 comma 1 by 5, it is wrong. So that is the only part you need to be clear. So whenever you are introducing any variable, it's not only in math. Whenever you are introducing a new variable other than what is given in the question, your answer is to express the answer in terms. So your job is to express the answer in terms of the asked variable, not the assumed variable. So here, what is the asked variable? X and y. What is the assumed variable? A. So you should not leave it in A. You should always bring it back to whatever is asked. So that's it.